What is up, Isaac? How are you doing tonight?
I'm good, sir. I'm good. How's it going? Happy Monday.
Yeah, happy Monday to you, sir. We are having some technical difficulties, but it's fun. I mean, technology, it is what it is, you know. Um, so Marc Specter is going to join us at some point. He is having some computer difficulties, but it's all good. He's going to get patched in here eventually, and it'll go fine. Until then, you can listen to my dog's collar jingle in the background, and probably my kids fight over dishes or something like that. You know, so
and the Facebook pings that I can't get rid of. Well, it's that kind of night.
yeah, so that's an interesting one. Right before we went live, I'm sitting here and Isaac's looking at me. He's like, "Is that your Facebook Messenger or is it my Facebook Messenger?" I'm like, so I started typing and I sent him something on Messenger and it's going off on his end, but he can't find it. So
Yeah, something is, but it stopped now, so we'll see.
it did. Okay. Okay, cool. Interesting. Hey, you never know with this stuff. It's like we try to make technology work for us, but it doesn't
It's
always
alive.
do that. Yeah. So what's been up with you, Isaac? How's your family doing? How's everybody getting along?
Yeah, everybody's doing well. It's been a nice couple weeks. We've been out getting my son and I playing some golf, and kids are starting to wind down. Right, we're in May, and they know that it's the end of the school year is like on this month. Right, so you start to see that mental game of winding down. But otherwise things are going good. We're in Ohio, right? So our weather is like it was like 85 yesterday, and it was like 45 and rainy today. Like it's just
interesting.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's been 80s, 90s, low 90s, I guess. But it's been nice. Little bit of sun all day. This weekend we did a lot of yard work, which was not a ton of fun, but our backyard actually looks nice now. Our front yard looks nice. You're talking about the kids getting kind of that end of school vibe with the kids. We have a thing called the Georgia Milestone Assessment Test. And so in Georgia, there's this test that you're supposed to take at certain grade levels. And the way that it works right now is that certain grades are testing and certain grades aren't testing. And there's all kinds of rules about what you can and can't do. And so there are times when the kids just literally have nothing to do. And so, especially my senior, she's sitting there, she's like, I don't even know why I'm going to school anymore. It's these last few weeks, there's literally nothing to do. So anyway, so, all right. So we are here to talk about card games. Marc is still working through his computer issues. And so, we'll see where that goes. Who knows?
We don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll talk about card games. So the idea of card games from the perspective of like, what card games did you play as a child? Like or not just a child, like growing up as you grew up over the years, what were card games that you kind of gravitated toward?
Yeah, I think it for me, it was easy to say things like, Uno was a big one. Racco. Did you play Racco as a kid?
I know of Racco. I've never actually played it though.
Racco is just one of those games that was like, I guess like this is what we're getting out because this is what we have in the house. But Uno was one like you could really get around and enjoy and have fun with. But those two are the two, like when you say like card games in your childhood that come to mind. The one that's like, it's not from my childhood. I've kind of picked it up since I've been gaming, but it's been around forever. And most people I play it with played it when they're kids is Dutch Blitz. I don't know if you're a Dutch Blitz fan, but we get some Dutch Blitz going on the table. Holy cow, it gets crazy.
Yeah, a friend taught me that like probably 8 to 10 years ago, and I am too slow for that game. That's one of the things. That's one of the things about Dutch Blitz. I remember playing it with her, and she's like a seasoned vet. Like she grew up playing Dutch Blitz, so she taught us how to play it, and I'm like, man, I'm just not fast enough.
My son's brain is like flying. Like he plays through that. He almost always just clobbers us. And the crazy part is you get 2 decks. You get an 8-player Dutch Blitz game.
Ooh.
Man, and you're like reaching over the table, right, trying to slam your green 4 before someone else gets it. But it's a lot of fun.
I guess
get a comment there, right?
As we're talking about, I'm not even paying attention to the chat here. So, we've got a comment here. My uncle lived for euchre, and we played it at every family gathering. That's awesome. I think the one card game that we played at family gatherings would be Rummy. Rummy was a favorite of mine. I love collecting sets and just trying to play off of other people and holding some stuff back and watching for a Rummy on the table. And that was just such a memorable time. My dad liked it, which my dad, not a big fan of board games, but my dad liked playing it. And then my grandmother played it. And so, yeah, Rummy was my childhood card game. So, 8-player Dutch Blitz is dangerous.
Hank's been in a couple of those games with us. He knows how dangerous that can be. And euchre's that's Midwest. I specifically never learned to play euchre because every party you went to, family parties, college parties, we need one more for euchre. Do you play? I'm like, no, I actually have no idea how to play, because you get roped into the games. Everyone plays euchre. So
see, I know the name, and I know it's one of those household family games that it's kind of like spades here in the South.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If you play spades, I went to a baby shower. Actually, my wife went to a baby shower with the girls, and then they had a thunderstorm for the guy, and they were going to do a spades tournament in the backyard. And nice. So I was like, man, okay, I need to get a little better with these things. So
yeah, spades, hearts, we'd play that stuff all day. Poker, right? You get the cards out, play a deck of cards, play some poker. I learned that from my dad at a young age, playing for pennies, just learning how to play.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, we would play 21. We would play blackjack. My next door neighbors actually had this island area, and we would play for pennies, and we'd play blackjack at their little island. So if somebody was the dealer, they'd stand at the sink and deal it out. So it was awesome. Pretty fun. Yeah, we had our little childhood casino, so in their kitchen. So
that's perfect.
I will tell you, it's out of reach right now.
Depends on how long you reach it.
Yeah, I know. My arms are long, but not that long. So, what game was that? I'm trying to remember it now. What game was that? Do you remember the game? I had it on the tip of my tongue for a. Oh man, Deleek. Hold on. Deleek is actually watching right now. Deleek, that was yours. Yeah, that was yours, man. That was awesome. A surprise for you. we ended up actually playing King of 12, and what else did we play? Combo Clash. And so, yeah. Nice. So, no, there's a game with a Western theme that it was put out. I'm trying to remember. Hold on. Mark is coming in just a second. So hopefully Mark will come in just a second. So
perfect. From the top rope.
Yeah. Anyway, so it used that poker mechanic with a Western theme. Do you remember what that was?
This is a classic game, like an older game?
It came out a couple of years ago.
No, I'm not
looking
sure.
On Board Game Geek right now.
Not Cockroach Poker.
Not Cockroach Poker, which I do love Cockroach Poker. Okay. We're gonna get Mark in here. His connection is a little unstable, but we're gonna add him to the stream now.
All right, make it work.
Mark, how are you, sir?
No, we got
a place. Be working.
Uh-oh. Coloma, is that the card game?
No,
not that one.
Okay, I'm moving Mark out. Okay, still having technical difficulties. Okay, so cribbage. That's another one.
Oh yeah,
an old game, but I've never learned cribbage. I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. But that's like all the grandparents played that.
Yeah, yeah.
At the family reunions.
The cribbage board. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
So,
for sure.
I'll get back to you about the name of the game. It's out of reach and it's behind another box, so I can't see it. So, of
course it is.
Yeah. So let's talk about. So when I was a kid, Rummy, that was my jam right there. And then of course Sequence as a teenager. But when I got into hobby card games and stuff like that, the CCGs that I really went for were Magic the Gathering. I learned that as a freshman in high school, and then the Star Wars CCG came out right after that. And so I played both of those like crazy during high school.
Yeah, that was the same. Like I played Magic all the time in high school, like got into it. So, we determined I'm a few years older than you, but I was hitting like right around 94, really started getting into Magic, and Ice Age on. Like, I mean, I look back at some of the cards that I have not treated well, that, I rifle shuffled all those cards.
Yeah.
I've got some of them, but it's been fun having the new ones and actually getting to play it a little bit more here recently.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was such a, I remember thinking, okay, so this is a game that some friends of mine in high school taught me how to play Magic, and they gave me some cards and just said, hey, get these cards and then I'll just like loan you a deck or whatever. And then I started buying my own, and it became so addictive to just get new stuff and to open up a pack and just be like, oh, look what I got. And everybody's sitting around just cheering. And man, it was a high, but I don't know that I ever want to go back into collectible card games.
I mean, I dipped my toes in with Dice Masters, and then I went head first all the way in. Yeah. And it was good because Dice Masters wasn't an expensive game. It was cards and dice, and I love custom dice, and the cards were fun. But like, if you could field a very, very competitive team for $20-$30, like it was not. You look at, I mean, Magic. During the pandemic, I started getting into Magic again a little bit. Started buying cards. Started really like grabbing some stuff, and man, Magic is not cheap. Like
it's not.
It's a new set every 3 months, and for a little bit, actually, I rolled 3 sets where the best cards I got from the box, I just sold them, and that paid for the next box.
Yeah,
and so it allowed me to, because I didn't care. I wasn't looking to play competitive. You want this card? Great, please take it. So. It worked out well that way.
Let me see. Do you remember a game called The Eye of Judgment? Are you a PlayStation fan?
Oh, huge PlayStation fan. Yeah, I don't remember that game though.
So The Eye of Judgment, there was the PlayStation Eye, which came out, which was basically a like overpriced webcam. So it was this webcam that connected to your PlayStation, and it did different things that you could use with the PlayStation Move and stuff like that. It was with the PlayStation 3, I think. And there was this card game called Eye of Judgment, and it was a webcam stand that you clip together, and it focused down on a mat that you've got this mat, it's like a cloth mat, and you actually play cards out on the cloth mat, and they do battle with each other on the computer, on the PlayStation. Nice. And so what you do is you scan in the card. The lighting had to be really good, which was the frustrating part about this game.
Right.
But the light, when you would actually scan the card underneath the eye, it would pop up this graphic, and then those wherever you placed it on this grid, this 9-point grid, it would do battle with the other competing cells. It was really cool.
Nice.
So
yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, we did a little bit of that with Light Seekers when that was kind of the hot thing. I don't know if you play that, or if you heard it. Are you familiar with Light Seekers at all? So it's a TCG card game, but it was, every card was scannable into an app-based game. So it was like a Hearthstone, right? Like you could, and it all came out at the same time, and it had toys. Like I had these figures for the characters that you could scan them, and they'd go into the game. So they really tried to throw it all together at once. I think the problem, like, they got a pretty good crowd going. Like, we were playing competitively at PAX, we were playing competitively at Origins, but they try to sink too much money in all at once at a bunch of different places, and kind of crumbled. But the app's still active, and
That's
cool. It was but it was neat being able to like scan your card and then see it kind of appear up on the screen. So
let me look. I think all of my Eye of Judgment stuff is actually literally right behind me. I just thought about it. Hold on 1 second.
That's awesome. Yeah, somebody asked Western themed card game. Is it Texas Showdown? I don't think Texas Showdown. I've played Texas Showdown, but I don't think that's it. Bang is another good one, though. It was a good card game.
I cannot believe I actually have a deck. Okay. There it is. Eye of Judgment.
I definitely don't remember seeing that ever. That's awesome.
So this is just card sleeves. Here it is. Crap.
Oh man, you got the binder.
Yeah, I got the binder, man. So at the time I was working at a job where I had a lot of access to like just driving to different towns and stuff like that. It was a route job. And what I would do is I would go to these Walmarts and Targets and stuff, and they would be clearancing out some of the stuff. So this is an example of an Eye of Judgment card. And if you're just joining us, this was a card game that was a digital card game that was played on a mat on a PlayStation 3 using the PlayStation 3 Eye. And this is what the front of a card looked like. Okay. And so is it going to focus? There it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So what it does is it's got hieroglyphs on the top. It's got a health. It's got like a combat rating. And then it tells you down here what it does. It attacks up. If you put it in the middle, I don't know what that means. But anyway, like these cards were really, really cool. And you could build these custom decks. So we would actually sit around and build these custom decks and then just go to town. We'd play till 1 a.m. playing Eye of Judgment. So it was one of those things that I wish that it had gotten more attention or gotten bigger. I don't know where it went, but it was definitely a very, very interesting. I can't believe I still have that deck, that box.
That's awesome.
There. So
time to break out the PS3.
So, yeah, I need to find it now. So, last guess, Finger Guns at High Noon. No, that is not it. Although Finger Guns at High Noon is one of my favorite party games. So.
It's on my Amazon list. There's about half a dozen games you've mentioned that I'm like, I'm gonna go put that on my list real quick.
There we go. I'm just enabling you. So.
I don't have enough games anywhere.
Yeah.
Today,
so let's we talked about games from like our childhood and teenage years and kind of growing up. Let's talk about like some modern classics, games that we have played and we're like, man, I'm going to be playing this for the next 10 years. That's kind of when I'm thinking about a modern classic, I'm thinking this is a game that 10 years from now, it's still going to be on my shelf.
Oh yeah. Like, I mean, the number one for me, as we start getting into doing game sidekicks, and I mean, you had this at One Board Family. Most people do this, run into this. You just start hustling in some of the groups, asking people, please send me your games so I can try them. You're doing your own games, and it takes a while to really get established. But one company that kind of reached out to us, like their Instagram stuff, they're like, I want to send you a couple of our games, their family games, see what you think. I was like, okay, fine. I played this game for the first time with 2 players, and I was like, actually played with Hank, who's in the chat, at 2 players, and I was like, Hank, this is not a good game at 2 players. Maybe it's just us. And then every time I've played it since, Skull King is a modern classic card game. This is the card game. If you are not playing this game, there's something wrong with you. I don't like these type of games normally. This is not my favorite kind of game. You don't
like trick-taking games?
No, it is not my favorite type of game. Like, I will play it, but I don't love them. This made me go, oh man, do I just love trick-taking games? I've never played the best one. Nice. And there's just something about Skull King. There's just something about that. Like, I mean, it's spades, right? It's spades or hearts.
Yeah.
Really, really, but it's gamified spades or hearts. right? The next layer, and there's just something about smacking that table and yo ho ho, and and the reveals and people just getting into it. Like, it's just such an awesome game. Like, I've yet to meet somebody who didn't play this game and went like, I don't really care for it. I could do without it.
So you have not met my son Josiah.
Oh, he does not like it.
He played it, but we also played it at 2:00 in the morning. So
that's a bad time to play games.
He actually, it's so funny because he actually won, and then he didn't like it.
Oh, that's crazy.
He won the game against me and Bob.
Yeah, he's got it. So. Bob loves it. Like Bob. I mean, I taught Bob at Origins, and I bet he said he's blown through like 2 or 3 decks because he just tears them apart playing them at work all the time. Like,
and it's actually,
for modern classics, that's
it's tops. Getting a reprint with some new card artwork and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yep.
So, yep. That's really cool. So when I think of pressure luck card games, this is the one that we always go to. Port Royal. This is one that I learned years ago. Actually don't like this version of it, but it's the one that I could get a hold of. So yeah, it's what I got. But Port Royal is such a great pressure luck card game. It's funny because I've got some friends that are newer gamers that don't game that often, but when I taught them Port Royal, they were like, let's play it again. Let's play it again. I was like, okay, let's go. This is actually one of my son's favorite games. You're rolling out these cards, and it's so good. And the ships come out, and then you have to decide when you want to stop. Oh, look at that. You say Bob, and he shows up. So I hear my name. So
like a genie.
Yeah. And then Port Royal's phenomenal. This is one of my favorite pressure luck games. And it's just such a compact game. We've taken out the last time we played it, we went to a pizza place, a local pizza restaurant, and we just sat there and played this after dinner and had a great time with it. So it's really good game. Yeah.
Yeah, Bob, we were talking about how much we all love Skull King. Yes. I know, and Port Royal he likes as well. So
yeah. He's the one who had to show me Port Royal. We played it during lunch at work for probably a year, just off and on. He would bring it back every once in a while. So
that's awesome.
Yep. Marc is not going to join us, so we will plug his game for him. But his technical issues with his computer are killing him. So so we'll get Marc on here again another time. So
we'll line you up, Marc. We'll line you up.
Yeah,
man. So we should have like a waiting in the wings, like Jimmy Kimmel does with if you ever watched this show, he always says, "Oh, sorry, we didn't have enough time today for Matt Damon. So we need our Matt Damon."
Dude, that is so funny. I've seen like a extended clip of all of the times that he's done that. Oh,
it's awesome.
Man, it's crazy.
Maybe we'll make Bob our Matt Damon.
There we go. Yeah. Just didn't have time for you, Bob. So what's another modern classic for you?
So I don't have it sitting right here because honestly, I have it in like one of those small boxes. I got one of those big boxes from Michael's. I don't know if you ended up doing that with any of your small games where you can drop like the individual like plastic containers in. So it's in there somewhere. I didn't grab it, but Point Salad from AEG, right, is so good. Like Point Salad is the game you play when you want to just have some kind of casual chat at the table. You want to have a good time. You don't want to be super competitive, but you want a little bit of competition. Yeah. It's also the game that you play for the first time and you go, what the heck? Why didn't I think of this?
Yeah.
Like it's so good and it's so easy to play. I've gotten to the point now, I don't even pull cards out. No matter what player count I play with, we just play with the whole deck.
Really? Okay. Like, I think that's the only thing I don't like about Point Salad is that you have to adjust the deck every time. So it's a little bit of a hassle, especially if you play with 6 players one night and 3 players the next night or something like that. It is a little frustrating.
Yeah, all the cards every time.
Yeah.
Yep. It adds, I mean, for 3 players, it doubles the time, right? I mean, it doesn't take that long to get through. Yeah, Bob did teach JT and I that one very late night at PAX. So got my PAX Unplugged shirt today, throwing it back.
Nice. Hank, Hank mentioned a couple, Love Letter and For Sale. So Love Letter, definitely. For Sale, I've actually not played that one, but I hear such great things about it. I probably need to play that one.
You've never played For Sale?
I have not.
All right, we're going to play it right now.
So,
I'm going to get it out.
Right now, we're going to live stream For Sale. I don't have a copy, so it's going to be a little weird. So, and then
it's 3 players or more is the only thing with that that's kind of rough. It's not it's not a 2-player game, but yeah, it's super solid. Love it. And
then Delt is a great climbing game with a Bonanza-like inability to rearrange your hands. Yes. So Bonanza is actually going to come up a little later in the show. So yeah, Bob's like, what? You haven't played that? I'm sorry, Bob. I'm a big disappointment. So
yeah, it's on BGA. That's right. For Sale is on there. For Sale is better than Monopoly.
Actually, if somebody wants to teach me For Sale after this, maybe I'm up for a game. So For Sale is better than Monopoly, Hank says. So I thought about one of the games that I was kind of thinking about, Sushi Go is such a great card game for families and everything. But I've got to tell you, there's a Sushi Go killer out there. And
Sushi Go Party.
Bugs on Rugs. This is like Sushi Go Advanced for the gamer. This is such a great set collection game where you're collecting bugs, and the bugs are on different types of rugs, different rug patterns in the background. So there's bugs that trigger certain things. You're feeding flies to the spiders, the mosquitoes in pairs or wilds. This is such a great game, so cute. This little worm, that little larva right there, that joker, every time it comes out on the table, it gets my daughter. She just laughs her head off every time it comes out. So anyway, Bugs on Rugs, it is a Sushi Go killer in my book. The first time I played it, I was like, this is meaty for a what is it, 8+ game. This is pretty good. And then the more I played it, I was like, I would play this 100 times over Sushi Go. It's for the gamer. It's Sushi Go for the gamer. So
that's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not as, I don't think, I'm familiar with the title. I just haven't played it.
Yeah. Do you have another? I have one more modern classic.
Yeah, I got one more I'll add. Okay. So also came in that Grandpa Beck's pack is, we can say it's a family show. It's Cover Your Assets.
Yeah.
And then Jeff Beck's son, and that glare is crazy. Jeff Beck, who's the son over there, Grandpa Beck, redid it, gamified it a little more with Cover Your Assets, or I'm sorry, Cover Your Kingdom. But I'll be honest with you, I love Jeff's version, but I love this version because it's so easy and simple to play. Yes. And this is a cutthroat game around the table. Like you've got like people are going at you and you're trying to hide your treasure. Like I love how aggressive Cover Your Assets gets. And my really daughter, cool. Oh man, my daughter plays that game like she is ready to take you out. Yeah. Like, and I love, seeing like certain games that your kids just like shine to, right? Like I know with the group, that one plays up to 6. I know with a group of 4 to 6, like she's all in, to play something like that. Yeah. So it's one that will never leave my shelf. Like I will always have that one ready.
That's awesome. I think another modern classic for me would be Ladder 29. This is, we've talked about what is it? Trick-taking games, Planet 9, what is it? The Crew. Crew is great. Trick-taking game. This is a ladder climbing game, so it's a little different, but the premise still remains the same. Ladder 29 is so good. This is a Green Couch Games release. This is a climbing game. Yep. So this climbing game right here is a lot of fun. So you have a hand of basically, this is Ben Pinchback and Matt Riddle. I forgot they were the ones who made this. it's such a good game, and anybody who knows hearts or spades or anything like that, they're going to be able to sit down with that game in about 2 or 3 minutes of a little extra teaching. They're going to be able to get the concept. My mom, I taught this to my mom a couple years ago while we were on a family vacation, and every once in a while I'll bust this out, and I'm like, do you remember this? And she's like, yes. I was like, okay, cool, that's awesome. So
play this.
Yeah, Bob says, I love Ladder 29. It does not like me. Oh, that's so sad. So it's really, really good. And you've got these cards in here. You've got the Dalmatian, you've got the Rookie, you've got some different cards that do different things. And then you have this whole hierarchy of, I think red's better than blue and yellow's better than green. So yeah, it's really good.
Nice. Yeah, I have not played that one. It's going to add to my Amazon list, sounds like.
Yeah, since you're a fan of Skull King, I think you'll like this. It scratches that itch real nicely. And there's the twist of, I think you have to get rid of, that's right, you have to pass a couple cards. I think it's 3 cards. You have to eliminate 3 cards from your deck, pass them to the left or to the right. So if I'm remembering correctly. So, yeah.
Nice.
So let's talk about innovative card games. So card games that kind of put a twist on things and just shine on your game shelf. So what do you got?
Ooh, innovative. So when you said innovative, when we were chatting through this, there's one game that like first came to mind to me. I don't have the regular edition, but I love this one more, is Clank. Clank in Space. Like, it's such an awesome smash up of deck building and dungeon crawling. Like, I love both of those things. I think they just smash those so well together. I love playing it. I love the push your luck that comes into Clank, right? How far do I go into this dungeon or into this spaceship before am I going to be able to get out? And I mean, that game was one that made me go, oh, okay, I can play something other than, straight up Dominion, right? When it comes to deck building. I love it.
I'll tell you, I really like Clank. Is one of those games that as soon as Erin and I played that, she was an instant fan of Clank. Erin is a huge fan of Clank. In fact, 2 years ago for her birthday, I got her the Clank Legacy. We got halfway through Clank Legacy before we kind of stalled out on it a little bit, but we are definitely going to get back into it because that is such a great, tight legacy experience, and one of the best we've played. So yeah.
You got to.
I would say Silver and Gold. Just the fact that you can write on these cards does so much. It's a flip and write, but the fact that you can mark on these cards and you have to cross off all these things on each card to get what you need and to score the points. This is a really, really cool game. And who knew that writing on cards was such a satisfying, like I'm a little bit of a neat freak at times, and I don't even care. This game's so much fun. I don't even care when we've played it so many times that it doesn't erase properly. I'm just like, whatever, let's keep going. I don't care. Yeah. Silver and Gold is, and it's a game that you can play 2, 3, 4 times in a row just because it moves fast. I remember one time we get about an hour lunch break at work, and we were so hype on this game that we just stacked as many times. We were like, okay, let's play. I think 4 or 5 times we played in an hour. I mean, we were just plowing through it, and it was fun because everybody came with a little bit of a strategy. It's like, okay, I'm collecting nothing but 12s. Somebody else is like, I'm collecting all the combos for this card color, So it was really good.
That's awesome. So, another one I was thinking about with, I enjoy a good combat game. I enjoy a lot of things I enjoyed about Dice Masters. It was the card, it was the dice, it was the combination. But one of the cooler kind of deck dice combo card games is sitting right here on my shelf. And that's this guy.
Yeah, Dice Throne.
I mean, Dice Throne is, it's a dice game, right? But it's also, from a card game perspective, I just love how well they smash. Again, I love when you get a couple of mechanics together that do a really, really good job. I thought they did an awesome job with that deck management of, making things better or worse based on your board. Like
Yeah.
I love Dice Throne. It's a game I don't play enough of, being that I mean, you can play more than 2 players, but for the most part, it's a 2-player experience.
Yeah.
But it's one I definitely am often like, oh man, I need to get Dice Throne out, get a player or 2 of that.
Yeah. And Adele's right. It's gorgeous. It's so good. So nice. The artwork in that. So Barnes & Noble right now, I think, has buy 1 Dice Throne Reloaded, get a Dice Throne 2 for half off, I believe.
Oh, wow.
So I saw it at Barnes & Noble just yesterday. So
wow. Nice.
Yeah. Innovative card game. King of 12. This is a brand new release from Lucky Duck Games. I think Korax Games. Yeah. We did a recent review of this one. It feels like Love Letter in the way that it moves fast and everybody's kind of secret about what they're holding and what they're doing with their cards. Everybody gets the same type of cards, very similar to Campy Creatures. Everybody has the same lineup. There we go. Grand Gamers Guild is in the comments. So I'm going to do the best I can trying to explain their game and pump it up. And hopefully he can correct me in the comments. So
perfect.
Yeah. So King of 12 is really, really good. Everybody has the same hand of cards, but it's how you use it. And I think what this game does really well, there's this cancel mechanism in the game that I had never thought of. When you play the same card, you're canceled. So if you and I play the exact same card on the same turn, we cancel each other out. So now we're going to go to just what our die roll says. Okay, so the die is going to be basically your point value. So we wouldn't get to increase our point value on our die. And then as you go through the steps during a normal round, you can cancel each other out at different points, to the point where if 2 people share the same score at the end of a hand, you cancel each other's scores out and the next person wins. And so it's so manipulative, because I played with some friends of ours. I actually played my last card to lose so that I could force somebody else to win, so that they tied with another person. They canceled each other out and I got first place. It is so, and doing that with these cards, and they're beautiful, like oversized cards. Man, it is a good game. The artwork's beautiful. This is an innovative game. I know it's new, but I'm very glad. This is something that I'm going to be playing for a long time. So.
Nice. I actually got to play. As I was thinking about the cancel thing, like you're saying, I get to play a game that's card coin bidding based. One of my buddies that I play with got, and it's not my game, but I had to pull it up my BG stats, right? The picture of it. It's Nidvalier.
I've seen the artwork for that.
Yeah, there we go. So this one's really, really good. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a bidding game where you're trying to build and amass this deck of different. They're like dwarfs, and you got different dwarfs with different powers. Like in the mines. Like, if this is the place where Stormbreaker was made, right? So I really liked it. Again, the interesting thing that it's very much like, okay, you and I bid a bid. Well, we've got to see where that hits when we've got multiple players. Do they cancel out? Do they not? And I liked the tableau building with the cards that went into. And good tableau build is something I do enjoy, and that was one I haven't played like that, and it was quick and it was fast. I played in like 40 minutes, but competitive, right? And so that's a great, that he owns that game. And one other game that's a card-based game that I love but I don't own is Res Arcana.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Res Arcana is one that I've not played, but I hear such great things about it all the time. So.
Also on BGA, by the way.
Yeah, I need to play it. I've been told I need to play that over and over and over. So,
but what I love about that one's got a draft aspect to it. Like, it's not innovative, but it combines a lot of, like, it combines a draft and a hand management and how you're gaining resources. Like, I just love how it all like kind of smoothly comes together, right? I don't feel
That's
like
right.
we're seeing a lot of like, oh my gosh, I've never thought about that mechanism
Yeah.
kind of thing. But we're seeing things smashed together that you would never, expect to
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
together, which is really neat.
Yep. So, speaking of, you said tableau building, I feel like it's time to talk about Aldabas. And
I think
so,
so.
yeah, so I do not have the, this is just some of photos that I took for our coverage of the game. So that's the best I'm going to do since I don't actually physically have the box, and Marc is not able to get on. And so, but Aldabas is very interesting. It's a tableau building game, and Marc is in the comments. So correct me if I get anything wrong, and we'll pop it up on the screen. So you are basically given these cards in the beginning. They're these beautiful door knockers on 3 different colored cards. You have blue, you have yellow, and you have red doors throughout the city. And so the door knockers are going to appear on these different colored doors. And the restrictions, the way that you build your tableau out and the restrictions that you find yourself with makes this game really a challenge, because we found Aaron and I played and quite a bit as far as like 2 players. And what you find yourself doing is drafting cards because it has a certain door knocker on it, or it's a certain class, or it gives you a certain bonus, because you'll see at the bottom of the card right there, what that means is that you can actually store coin in your vault. So these doors, while they come in 3 different varieties of colors, they also give you an ability. So you're drafting a door not just for its color, not just for like what classification it is, but also for the ability that comes on the card itself. And so
Nice.
Juan Vargas made the doors. Okay, awesome. The artwork is fantastic. So let me see if I can seamlessly, we'll see if I don't know if I'm going to seamlessly be able to, yeah, let's see. Okay. So the vault. Okay, let me talk about the vault for a second. Each player has this vault that is sitting in the corner of their tableau, and the vault is where you're going to store you can hide money underneath it. You can also hide doors underneath it. So what you're doing is, if when you have your hand of cards, you're going to be able to store some of those cards. Certain cards give you the action to store things in the vault, and that goes away from the view of all the other players at the table. So I might be storing a certain door type underneath my vault so that end game scoring occurs. Okay. Because at the end of the game, what you're going to have is you're actually going to get points based on whether you were first or second place for that particular door type. Okay. So here's some close-up artwork. You've got soldiers, which is the green one, and then you've got clerics, which is the purple, and I think the nobles, which is the red one with the number 3. So they actually give you the points that are available on the card, but they also give you it also triggers that effect. So I'll just read. I'll read that first one that you see. That is the soldier card, gives you 2 points straight up. But for the person who is in first place with the most soldier, the largest number associated with soldiers, they're going to get 3 points for every noble on the table in their tableau. The next highest will get 1 point for every noble on their tableau. And then third or fourth place, you're not going to get anything. So it's really, really important to watch how everybody's tableau is coming together as they're playing this game. So, and then Marc says, we're very happy to have a talented Colombian artist to bring Aldabas to life. So it is gorgeous. The cards are gorgeous. The gameplay is really smooth. It's really cool, and the different types of door knockers and things like that. You've got a little bit of take that. If you look at the red door, kind of up in the red door up there in the corner, you're going to be able to steal some money from people from your opponents. So you're going to be able to steal money from one opponent, or 2 coins from one opponent, or 1 coin from 2 different opponents. So there's a little bit of take that, which is kind of nice. But it is a solid game. and I was very impressed. This last picture. This is kind of how your tableau builds out. Like I said, you're not able to put light colored doors next to each other, and so it really forces you to think through, okay, what's my next step? What is the next thing that I'm going to do, and how am I going to build this out? So
yeah, those look amazing.
Yeah, it's a really cool game. So the reason why we wanted to show it on here and have Marc on is because it hits Kickstarter starting tomorrow. So if you're watching this right now, May 4th, you're going to be able to jump in and find this Kickstarter on May 4th. So you definitely want to check that out. It is a very, very nice card game. Plays really well. Aaron and I both really enjoyed our time with it. And it plays significantly different with 2, 3, and 4 players, because only the first and second players are going to get those bonuses. So,
right.
And Marc says it right here. This is a card game for gamers. There's some legit depth to this card game that you're gonna only find as you play through it multiple times. So, yeah.
Hey Frank, I thought the same thing. I'm like, oh, May the 4th. All right. Pausing for Star Wars jokes.
Yeah. I gotta wear I'm wearing my Wookiee shirt tomorrow, as I do every May 4th.
So. That's awesome.
But yeah, so that's I hope, Marc, I did this game a service to put it in front of the viewers. Hopefully I helped a little bit, because I really, really enjoyed the game, and we wanted to have Marc kind of express what this game was to everybody. So.
And Marc sent you in the comments, how long of a Kickstarter campaign is this going to be? And tomorrow when this kicks off, obviously, I assume we just go to Kickstarter.com, right? Look up Grand Gamers Guild here.
Yep, and you can see a preview. Actually, you can find a preview of the game on One Board Family. So I'll throw that link in there in the show. So in the stream. So
you said you did great. So
great.
2 weeks, 2-week campaign. All right.
2-week campaign. Yeah.
There we go.
May 4th through the 18th. So that's important. You want to jump in that. It's not going to be a month-long campaign. It's going to be a shorter campaign. So definitely jump in that. Cool. As we always end, what you playing right now?
Right now I'm playing the game chat with Isaac and Ryan.
There we go.
So got this. I put this as far away at the end of my table as I could, and it's a heavy game, so I'm actually going to reach with 2 hands.
Go for it.
Because this game is chock full of paper, and that's Hadrian's Wall.
Sounds right.
I don't know how to pronounce these games. Yeah. I really don't. But from Renegade and Garfield Games, like, this game is like, it's got some weight to it, because it is literally, it's got some pieces, right? It's got some little meeple guys that you would expect, right, in a game, but it is just two giant boards. It's a flipping right. And I mean, you literally, like, you got 2 pages that look like this, and you've got, like, there's 2 of them, so you're actually lining them up. And this is your game play surface.
Interesting. Okay.
And you're flipping some cards, you get resources, and the way this game, like, I like Gons, and one of the reasons I like Gons Cleaver so much is the, like, you do this to this to this, unlike that. This one, oh my gosh, you've got to make notes. You're like, I unlock this, to unlock that, to unlock these 3 things. Like, it's awesome. It's heavy. I mean, it's probably the heaviest roll or flip and right type of game I've played. It's definitely heavier than Fleet. Like,
is it heavier than Paladins? From the same same line, would you say it's heavier than Paladins?
So we looked it up, and Paladins was a heavier rated game on BGG, but I would say this one just has a steeper learning curve. Okay. And it's one that I think once I play it a few times, you get the handle, but we realize, 4 of us playing it at the table, having never played it, like, oh man, this is important, and we should have, made plans for this. And the reason I like it is everybody's moving at their own pace. So whether it's two players or 6, the game's going to take about the same length of time. And it's great though. I highly recommend this one. If you enjoy a good roll and write or flip and write, like
I
it's
love
gonna be.
those. Yeah.
I'm not a solo gamer, and I honestly will probably get this out and play it a few times solo just to get the pieces
Okay.
moving
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
It'd make a great digital game too, like an app-based game.
That's
I think
cool. Okay, I might look into that. Bob, you need to go ahead and purchase that so we can play. But if anybody needs to buy it, Bob needs to buy it and then show me. Mark says last game he played was Grinto. Grinto, fantastic. Final production copy came out so nice. Love it. The tiles remind me of a game that I played when I was a kid called Upwards. Loved Upwards. That I was telling like some other gamers like about Upwards, how Upwards was so much better than Scrabble, and Scrabble couldn't touch Upwards, and they're like, "What's Upwards?" I was like, "You suck." So
somebody's republishing Upwards. I just got an email about that. Who is it?
I really liked Upwards.
It's shoot, I'll look here. But somebody sent me something asking if I wanted to review it. New copy. Yeah, I have not gotten that. Upwards. Oh, Spin Master is redoing it.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah. So it's got
if you don't want to
a little pig or something on it. I don't know what but yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh man, Upwards is like,
don't want to review it, just say, hey, I know this one guy. So he liked Upwards when he was a kid. Fantastic Factories. Aaron and I have been playing a lot of Fantastic Factories over the weekend. We were just looking for something where we can roll some dice and collect some things and just have fun. And we busted this one out again. It's been a while since we played. Fantastic Factories is so good. It's a quick, fun engine builder. It's a game that we actually surprisingly got all 5 of us to play a couple times. The kids don't mind playing Fantastic Factories just because it's a little thinky and you're trying to find the right combination of things, and there's beautiful dice. Like it's a lot of fun.
It doesn't overstay its welcome either, which is nice.
Especially tonight, because I won against Aaron. I want to go ahead and go on record since she beat me on Saturday. I won against Aaron right before we came on the show, and I won by tiebreaker, but I won in record speed, like 15 minutes. So
my son printed up. We have a 3D printer. And he printed up resource tokens for that little yellow lightning bolts and little.
Yeah, that's super cool.
So it's kind of a fun little extra thing with it. But yeah, I love. Did you see? Mark said Upwards was his inspiration for Grinto there.
Nice.
So there you go. You saw the connection.
Yeah, it was, those tiles are so good. So super nice. Awesome.
Right, I got one more.
Yeah, go for it.
New one from Stronghold. Speaking of, the house that's putting out some really good roll and write stuff, right? They brought Gons, they brought Twice as Clever, right? They put all those together. This one, same type of game, is Bravo. I don't know if you've seen.
I saw that
anything with this. The board looks very busy. I think a lot of these roll and writes, you kind of look at the board and you're like, what the heck? What am I doing with this game?
Is this like polyomino type of no, okay, it's more of a grid.
I mean, it is, because the shapes, the shapes and color, the colors are shapes and polyomino wise, but you've got 7 dice that you're rolling. Roll the 7 dice and you're picking combinations of colors, of shapes, of some special dice. You're trying to cross certain areas out. One of the things I really like about the way it scores is it's similar to Tag City, which I really like, in that when you're completing rows and columns, you get more points for being first, right? You get less points for being second. So it's a race and a rush to areas where you really kind of got looking like, oh, what's that person going after, right? And try and manage that. But nice little roll and write 20-30 minute game. These games, I'll play them endlessly when they're new, trying to like crack a code and get the high score. And then there's a point where you're like, okay, I've gotten as good as I'm going to get at this. But
that makes sense.
But for the for the size, for the cost, for the ease of play, like I'm going to get probably 20 good games out of that, no question.
Nice. That's cool. I don't own it. Bob owns it, but Lost Ruins of Arnak,
I think
really enjoying it. So he taught us how to play online through BGA, played a couple times on there, and played it physically Saturday night and had a blast with it. It was really, really good. So definitely want to get that one to the table again, even though I don't own it, but really enjoyed it. It was a good game. So yeah. So
yeah, that's
oh, go ahead.
That's one I've heard a ton about. I really,
it's really fun.
Try it
out. Well, Bob explained it as Clank and something else mixed together, and it does have that feel. So nice. It's really, really good game. So hey, shout out to Adele and Bob and Hank and who else was here in the comments?
Marc was in the comments.
Yeah, so Marc was in the comments. Yeah, we had a bunch of people in the comments. Shout out to you guys. Thanks for chiming in and letting us know you're here and discussing games. So on the solo game, you mentioned solo games, playing a lot of solo games, especially the Macabre Grid Puzzle and Skulls of Sedlec. Oh, that is a wallet game.
Okay.
I think. Yeah. Awesome. I've heard that's really good. So very cool. So Indiana Jones Clank. That's what he said. So good job, Bob.
Perfect. Thanks. Yeah, we appreciate you guys coming in, chatting with us. That just makes it that much more fun and interactive for us, for sure.
Makes the show better all around. So hey, where can people find your stuff?
You can find us at gamingwithsidekicks.com. All of the social media channels, Gaming with Sidekicks. Over on Facebook, we have a Facebook group where we just chat about games, right? Sometimes throw up some comments, some questions, have some fun with it. Our Instagram page is probably one of my favorite pages. Try and get new stuff up there every day. Just had our friend Jazz over at the Lobby of Hobbies kind of give us a shout out to what we're doing here. And then also over for our Instagram page. So appreciate that. Check out his page too. But
yeah, we look for Jazz to come on the show at some point, because I think that would be awesome to have Jazz on the show.
Yeah, so. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Subscribe. Where can we find you, sir?
Yeah, subscribe to us on YouTube. Our YouTube channel finally crossed that 1,000 threshold, which we're super excited for. Opened up some new avenues for us to communicate with people on the channel. So yeah, visit us at One Board Family all over the web. So, and check out that Aldabas preview on oneboardfamily.com and see if that's a card game that you need in your life. Coming to Kickstarter May 4th.
I think I do.
Yeah. You'll be on it tomorrow. So cool. Celebrate Star Wars Day and jump into a Kickstarter. So
perfect.
Cool. All right, man. Well, you have a wonderful Monday night, and hopefully you guys get to do some more gaming this week.
You too, sir. All right, folks. Have a good one.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.